Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you again for joining me in this 30-day series. We are on day 10. Wow. We've covered a lot of bases, but I do want to thank you again for joining me in exploring sobriety, cultivating emotional well-being, and embracing holistic health so that we can all go forward and experience a year of strength, growth, and vibrant living. So today, day 10 is a big one. And I'm going to add in a few little layers here. So do bear with me. I'm going to try to be really mindful of the time and keep it inside of that 10 to 15 minute period. However, I want to illuminate a few things that I've not necessarily intentionally been leaving out, but really wanted to save it for those that, made it here to day 10 with me and were really showing themselves that they had that dedication to themselves. So anyway, day 10, this is where we're going to lean into leaving the external, all those things outside of us, the people, places, and things, and getting internally minded, because that takes looking at how well we are presenting ourselves. So we have to be in a specific mindset, right? So here's the deal. We want to be allowing ourselves to get into a space of that intuitive mind, the one that allows that all of that emotional headspace and the logical, rational thinking to come together so that something greater can emerge. And yes, just went back to one of our earlier days, but we have to get into that space before we even move forward with listening to the rest. So if you haven't set an intention for sitting down and listening to me right here, right now in this space, stop for a minute and set that intention, because I really want to show you what it can look like, feel like, be like when you can allow outside noise to stay outside and choose what parts are for you so that you can actually show up and present yourself in the way that you want to see yourself experiencing living, the way that you want to experience your environments, and how you want to be received by other people, places, and things, right? So today, right here, right now, I want us to take a look at our communication style. I need you to dig in right now. I need you to dig into how you would rate your communication and how you think others would rate you. So this first prompt I'm going to give to you is, I want you to start by writing down a scenario from this week, perhaps over the last 10 days since we've been doing this work, right? Write down a scenario from this week that was either positive, negative, or even both. Now I want you to, I'm going to insert a little bit here, right? Like, so if you were knee-jerk reactive, something bad happened, maybe you lost your job, you got in a car accident, you got in a fight with your spouse, what was that knee-jerk reactive thing you did? Or maybe it was a list of things, a series of things that you did that were knee-jerk and reactive. It could have been, I was yelling, I stomped out of the house, I got in my car, and I went to the bar. Maybe it looked like I shut myself in the bedroom with a bucket of Ben and Jerry's and felt sorry for myself. Maybe it was I reached out to my girlfriends and I just, told them all the bad, negative things about my spouse and all that things. And I just let them tell me how wonderful I was and how right I was and how wrong the rest of them, how wrong my spouse was. Sorry. I just had a squirrel. And if you can hear my dogs barking, I apologize again. Anyway, so I want you to really sit with that for a minute and write down at least one scenario from the week and think about it. And then after that, I want you to ask yourself, am I generally someone who expresses his or her thoughts easily? Or am I more apt to say nothing for fear of saying the wrong thing? How do I handle being in a room full of strangers? What do I do when I realize the person I am dating or whatever, spending time with, my friends, whoever it is? What do I do when I realize that they're not right for me? Do I go out drinking even though I don't want to because my friends pressure me? So we have a lot to contemplate here. We have a lot to look at. And there are a lot of external things in our life that we don't even think are external. And we give them a lot of power. But we also give away a lot of power. We rely on things outside of us, people, places, and things to bring us peace, joy, comfort, relief, value, validity, and worthiness. So relying on alcohol to bring us peace, joy, comfort, relief is an inappropriate relationship with alcohol. Any type of an emotional purpose that we have for Ben and Jerry's, any type of an emotional purpose we expect from the people in our lives to relieve for us may very well be inappropriate. We have to be willing to take a look at these things. So, these are really hard things to take a look at. So a few more questions, right? A few more questions I want to prompt you to ask yourself. And that is, are there areas that are more difficult than others for you? Why do you think you have difficulties in these situations? Now ask yourself, how might you best communicate in these situations to achieve the results you want? Anytime you have to communicate with others about difficult topics, it's best to speak and listen carefully. Keep the other person's feelings in mind and show respect for that individual. Try to think about what you might say ahead of time so that you are prepared to speak. And I always like to say, right, we're going to get into some of these deeper communication levels. But if we are in an argument with somebody, or we just are having a differing view or opinion, is help me understand what led you to believe, think, or feel that way. Even add about me, or about my words, or about my actions. Before I lean into explaining myself, I think I should. I think it would be helpful if I understood what parts of it upset you the most. I can see that you're upset. It was not my intention. There's a dance that we can have. But first, we need to start with all of those things I prompted you at the beginning and writing down some scenarios that we want to pull apart and look at and navigate through so you can learn how to shift through them. Again, don't hesitate to reach out. This is big stuff. Day 10 is a big deal. And it marks a significant space in the shifts we're going to be having. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow about knowing how to identify what drive you're operating in so that you can make this a little bit more seamless. Anyway, good luck today. Don't forget to write these things down. This isn't an exercise in listening. I want you doing the active processes that I'm prompting you to do, no matter how hard it is. You've got to do the work. You've got to do the observation. You've got to try shifts. You've got to ask me questions. You've got to lean in. Things don't change just because we listen to something or read something. We actually have to take action. In fact, one of my biggest things is people that are trying to manifest something. They talk about it, they talk about it, they talk about it. They sit in the same spot every day and they talk about it. They never do the actions, and they wonder why they haven't received what the manifestation thing is that they're trying to make happen. So be active, be an active participant. Talk to you soon.